Hey, I'm Nat. I'm going to take a moment here just to talk you through what you can expect over the next 7 days with the maintenance challenge that's been put together by myself and Shauna. In this very quick presentation, I'm going to give you a bit of an explanation of why maintenance is important, how it's going to benefit you, what you can expect to see over the next 7 days, and how ultimately it's going to help you in your fitness journey going forward. So first off, maintenance. Okay, why are we looking at diet maintenance? Well, if you're feeling anything like this woman here who's a bit bored of her current diet situation, feeling a little bit of diet fatigue, perhaps you've plateaued, you've not been getting the results you are hoping for, you might even be confused about what it is that you need to do next, or you're coming off a weight loss phase and you're looking for weight maintenance, or now what you're looking for is really to switch up and start to see some decent progress and some gains, get stronger, look at building some lean mass and see those results coming through in CrossFit. I'm going to just take you through the presentation now and talk to you a little bit about really why prolonged dieting is essential to take a break from. And to do that, I'm going to explain a little bit of a story about a road trip that my husband, myself, and my 2 daughters went on a few years back. We flew into San Francisco and we did a road trip around the whole state. So we ended up flying out of Miami. So it was a huge road trip, but a big block of that, we drove down the Pacific One and we went from San Francisco all the way down to San Diego, which is about 500 miles. Now, if you could just imagine for a moment doing that road trip, how long that road trip would take, and doing that road trip without any kind of breaks. Now, it was really important that we stopped, we refueled the car, that we put water in the engine, that we made sure that the car was in a good state of repair, that we stopped and slept, that we ate, and we got out and we moved our bodies, because being in a car or in a situation for such a prolonged period of time, it would just have caused a breakdown. And in fact, my husband has since said he was feeling so fatigued from the length of time that he was sat in the car that he nearly drove the car off the cliff at one point. So it's really important when you're on any kind of journey, especially a fitness or a nutrition journey, that you stop to take a break for yourself. Stopping to take a break because your body needs the rest. You need to make sure that you are adequately fueled for life, for performance, for sports. If you don't, you will see your results plateau. You will see that your body will metabolically adapt when you're eating in a calorie deficit and you're taking in less than your body needs, or your body changes size. The amount of food that you need does adjust, your metabolism adjusts to that, and you just see a plateau. As well as that, if you've been eating the same foods for a long period of time, you can become incredibly bored, fatigued with those foods, stressed, and actually lack adherence. And in some cases, we see with our athletes that we need to increase their calories to see that they can still lose fat just by increasing the lack of adherence. So there's a lot of things that go into maintenance, not just from a physiological point of view, emotional point of view, but a physical point of view as well. If you've been dieting for a long time, you might already have thrown a couple of refeed days in, or taken a little bit of a diet holiday over the festive period or at some kind of social occasions, which is fantastic, and it's what our body needs. So it's a really good thing if you have done that. One of the significant differences of a planned maintenance phase and a refeed day or refeed days is the length of time in which you're going to commit to the maintenance. Maintenance, you're going into it with a focused objective that you're going to be in maintenance. You're increasing those calories to your maintenance calories for a set amount of time, with the purpose of that being coming away from dieting for a longer period of time than just the odd refeed day. And one of the huge benefits of that is the emotional and psychological point of view, where you can just move away from not being able to eat the foods, or feeling like you're constantly surrounded by temptation all the time, or feeling hungry, or feeling tired, or feeling fatigued for a prolonged period of time. When you fix into a maintenance phase as well, which is often timed around competitions, sporting events, or a change in programming, you will see an increase in performance. Huge benefits for athletes, for female athletes, when food is increased in their training cycle to help them towards competitions, and especially strength programs, or an increase in the intensity of the program. One of the big questions that we often get asked, so I'm going to deal with that as well, big FAQ, is, am I going to gain fat? Am I going to get fat, or am I going to put on weight? I'm increasing my calories. It's a big fear factor. It can be overwhelming, especially when you're looking at having been eating in a calorie deficit for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, here you go. Here's an extra 4, 6, 8, 1,000 calories for you, and you're like, what? I'm gonna get fat, and you're not. It's not going to happen like that. First off, we're not going into surplus. We're going into maintenance, which is what your body needs to maintain. To gain fat, we need to go into a surplus, which again happens with a lack of adherence. There is a big difference between fat gain and weight gain. When we eat more food, there is going to be more food in our digestive system. Just think of the difference between an empty and a fully packed suitcase. Which one's going to be heavier? The packed suitcase is going to weigh more than the empty one. So if your digestive system is full, or you're eating more food, then if you step on the scales, that is going to represent the food that you've eaten. For example, 400 grams of pasta is going to make you weigh 400 grams more, as will the excess water that you may be retaining from an increase in the carbohydrates, from more glycogen in your muscles. When we absorb those carbohydrates, it does increase our mass, and it will as well from any additional hydration, any additional sodium, and also there's the general weight fluctuations that we see as women that is related to our menstrual cycle. So one of the things that we can look at this is, am I gaining fat? No, but if I step on the scales and I see a gain, reach out for support, but also understand that there are so many variables that can be linked to. Ultimately, what will happen is you'll see an improvement in your metabolism. So it's a bit like stoking that fire back up. When we improve our metabolism, it improves fat loss. So actually, by eating more, you could, in effect, lose fat. Okay, increasing that metabolism, especially with whatever you plan to do afterwards. It will improve your adherence. The more food you're eating, the less likely you're going to be hungry, and the less likely you're going to go off plan or stick to the adherence. And of course, if you're feeling less hungry, or you're feeling more energized, and you've got an improvement of your sleep, your performance is going to improve. When your performance improves in line with a very well put together fitness program like CFT, you are going to see some improvements in your body composition as well. So there's loads of gains, loads of wins from going into maintenance. The way we're going to walk you through this over the next 7 days is we're going to deal with one element of deep or holistic health on a day-to-day basis. So first off, day one, we are going to talk you through how to find out what your maintenance calories are. So we'll talk you through all of that, which is the big question, isn't it? How much do I need to be eating for maintenance? So we're going to show you how to find that out. Day two, we're going to look at how we can improve quality of sleep by eating at maintenance. So using some of those additional calories and carbohydrates around our sleeping patterns and how to improve deeper sleep. When we go on to day three, we'll be looking at hunger and just taking the opportunity to dig a little bit deeper into our own hunger and fullness cues. Day four, we'll be looking at the improvements in our recovery. So having a little bit of a check with ourselves. How are we feeling from a recovery point of view? How is our performance looking? Day five, energy. Have we got an increase in energy here? What's going on? Let's have a little look at our body. We'll be delivering that to you with how you can measure it and how you can make the most of the benefits for having extra energy and how you can really optimize being in maintenance. We're going to take some time on day 6 to go through digestion and gut health. And no holistic health check would be complete without making sure that your full wellness and stress is dealt with as well, which comes to you on day 7. Throughout this, we'll be looking for lots of feedback from you. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got. Really excited for you to go into this next stage of your fitness journey and ultimately to see some huge progress and benefits from it. Reach out if you need anything and enjoy the next 7 days.